Okay, how much money do we need in super to buy a property? In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how it works and what the banks look for when getting you a mortgage. Now in this scenario, let's just pretend that you want to buy an investment property for $1 million. If you buy an investment property for $1 million, there's going to be fees. Now, let's assume you haven't opened up an SMSF yet. Let's say you're a brand new person to the whole SMSF property buying journey. So it's going to be probably 10 grand to set up by the time you get the statement of advice from a financial planner, the bare trust set up, and so on. So 10 grand to set that stuff up. And when you buy a property for $1 million, it's probably another 50 grand of fees. Stamp duty being the biggest one, lawyers, building and pest. So you're going to need like 60 grand to buy that property for $1 million, okay? So that means you're going to need $1,060,000 to buy that property. Now, through your SMSF, let's assume this is a residential investment purchase. And remember, it has to be investment. You can't live in a property through SMSF. Let's assume that we get you an 80% loan. So 80% loan on a $1 million purchase is $800,000. So we can get your SMSF to get a mortgage from a lender of 800 grand. That means your deposit needs to be the difference between the two, which is exactly $260,000. So if my super fund has exactly $260,000, is that enough to buy a property for $1 million? Yeah, it is to get across the line, but then you're left with zero in your super. Now we recommend here at MAD to have at least 10% liquidity of the asset value. So if your asset value is $1 million, we'd want another 100 grand left over. So in this scenario, we would like to have an SMSF originally at least 360 grand, because you would need $260,000 as your deposit, which means you got 100 grand left over, and 100 grand is 10% of the $1 million property. Now, why would you want that left over? Well, guys, the reason is if you buy a property, you're going to have potentially a situation where there's going to need some repairs and maintenance. Maybe you have a pool and the chlorinator blew up the first week you own the property, the hot water system broke. Let's say you can't get a tenant for a couple of months. You're still going to have mortgage repayments coming out for every single month. And on an 800 grand loan, that's going to be significant, 7 grand a month or something like that. That's why you need to have a bit of a buffer, a safety amount in the super fund. So that's, we call it 10% of the asset value. So hopefully that answers your question, guys. You can run different scenarios. Obviously the numbers are different if you're spending 500 grand on an investment property, if you're spending 2 million. If you like what you see, guys, I love SMSFs, please subscribe to our YouTube channel.